たとえ世界のすべてが緑に溶けてもきっとあなたの声がする大丈夫帰ろうってでもね今願い込めた一撃外れた
What's up everybody? I'm making this short video to explain to you why no two starting positions for the deadlift are identical. Everyone's starting position for the deadlift is going to look different based on how you are built. But before I talk about all this, I want to cover two key points that must happen when setting up for the deadlift. Point number one. You must start the deadlift with the barbell directly over the center of your foot. You do not want to start the deadlift with the barbell out over your toes, and you don't want to start with the barbell too close over your heels. Starting with the barbell directly over the center of your foot is going to ensure that the weight is evenly dispersed throughout your entire foot. This is going to ensure that you are balanced while you pull. Point number two. Your shoulder blades must be directly over the barbell. This is going to put your shoulders or your front delts just in front of the barbell. If you start the deadlift with your shoulder blades behind the barbell, this is going to cause your butt to drop down, which is going to cause your knees to go forward. Now you are forced to pull the barbell out and around your knees rather than pulling it up in a straight line. If you start with your shoulder blades too far in front of the barbell, this will cause the barbell to swing out away from your body and shift the weight onto your toes, causing you to lose balance forward. So I want you to make sure you are covering those two key points when setting up for the deadlift. But I want you to realize that two different people with two different builds are going to look different when they set up for the deadlift. Let me explain. This is Jack from Jack in the Box, and what I've done is I've drawn three different builds or body types, I guess you could say. You'll notice that all three of these positions look very different, but in fact they're all correct. So let's look at person A. Person A is relatively proportional. His torso and his legs are relatively proportional. That's what I mean by when I say that. He is in a correct starting position. The barbell is over the center of his foot, and his shoulder blades are over the barbell. This is going to put his hips pretty neutral, and it's going to put his back at a 45-degree angle. Most people would say this is a textbook deadlift setup. But it works for him, not necessarily for these two. So let's move on. Person B has a relatively short torso in relation to his legs. So short torso, long legs. These type of people are 6'2", and 5 feet of them are all legs. So tall and lanky, I guess you could say. Now this person is in a correct starting position, barbell over the center of the foot, shoulder blades over the bar. But you'll notice that their hips are much higher than person A, someone of relatively proportional build. So hips are much higher, and this is going to put their back much more horizontal, almost parallel with the floor. This is the correct starting position for person B. These type of people are going to be a little more posterior chain dominant when they deadlift. They're not going to be able to use as much leg drive because the angle of their knee is open a lot more than person A or person C. Which brings me to person C. Now, this person has a relatively long torso and short legs. Now, again, long torso and short legs is going to put their hips low and their back relatively vertical. Again, this person's in the correct starting position with the barbell over the center of the foot, shoulder blades over the bar. These people are going to use a lot more leg drive than person B. So that's really all I wanted to illustrate, is the fact that everyone's starting position in the deadlift is going to look different based on how you are built. So do not listen to general advice of get your hips down, get your hips up, your back should be at a 45-degree angle, because it really depends on how you are built. And it hurts my ears to hear people telling someone built like person B to get your butt down and squat the weight up. You're using all back. When in reality, that's just the way they're built, and that's the correct starting position. Those are the cards they were given, and they got to play them. That's usually why someone who's 6'6" and lanky is not a very good deadlifter. And it also hurts my ears when I hear people tell someone built like person C to get your hips up. It's not a squat, when in reality, it is more of a squat if you're built like this. Now, on a final note, I realize that these pictures are all exaggerated. These are not cookie cutter positions that you have to fit into. You might be somewhere in between one or the other. I'm just trying to prove a point. And I'm trying to help you figure out which setup works for you. So that's it. I kind of did this video on the fly, so I might have left out a lot of stuff. So post your questions below, and I promise you I'll do my best to answer them. But I will only answer your questions if you promise to train on time.
Whoa, oh, oh.